In the heart of ancient Rome lived a man who could buy anything except respect. He owned more land than whole provinces, silver mines, and thousands of slaves. He paid Julius Caesar's debts, bribed senators, and bankrolled armies. This was Marcus Licinius Crassus, the richest Roman who ever lived. But money was never enough. Crassus longed for glory, the kind of eternal fame that only military victory could bring. And in chasing that dream, he met one of the most disastrous ends in Roman history. Crassus was born into privilege in 115 BC. During Rome's brutal civil wars, he sided with the general Sulla and learned a ruthless lesson: violence creates opportunity. Rome often burned, and Crassus saw profit in the flames. He organized his own fire brigade, but they wouldn't act until the desperate homeowner sold the property for a fraction of its worth. Then the fire was put out. Soon, he owned huge portions of Rome rebuilt by his slaves, who were trained as architects and builders. Disaster had made him unimaginably rich. By middle age, Crassus's fortune was legendary, worth billions today. He even said, "No man is truly rich unless he can raise his own army at his own expense." And he could. He funded gladiator games, political campaigns, and even Julius Caesar's rise to power. Yet despite his influence, Rome did not admire him. True respect came only from battlefield glory, and that was the one prize Crassus lacked. In 73 BC, a gladiator named Spartacus led a massive slave revolt. Army after army failed to stop him. Desperate, the Senate turned to Crassus. With his wealth, he raised legions and imposed brutal discipline. He revived the punishment of decimation, killing 1 in 10 soldiers of a disgraced unit, and lined the Appian Way with the crucified bodies of 6,000 captured slaves. Spartacus was crushed. Crassus had victory, but Pompey the Great returned from Spain at the same time and claimed the credit. Once again, Crassus was overshadowed. To secure power, Crassus allied with Pompey and Caesar in the first triumvirate. He brought money, Pompey brought fame, and Caesar brought charisma. But even here, Crassus was the least admired. Pompey's victories were legendary. Caesar's campaigns in Gaul made him a hero, and Crassus remained the banker. He needed his own conquest. Crassus looked east, to Parthia, rich, powerful, and tempting. A victory there could make him Rome's Alexander the Great. In 53 BC, at 60 years old, he marched into the desert with 7 legions. But he was no great general. The Parthians, with swift horse archers and armored cavalry, outmaneuvered the Romans. At the Battle of Carrhae, the legions were surrounded and destroyed. 30,000 men were killed, 10,000 captured. It was one of Rome's worst defeats. As for Crassus, some say he was betrayed and slain. Others claim the Parthians poured molten gold down his throat, mocking his endless hunger for wealth. Crassus's death shattered the triumvirate. With him gone, Caesar and Pompey turned on each other, plunging Rome into civil war. Crassus remains a symbol of unquenchable greed, a man who had everything but respect. He sought glory, but instead left behind a warning. Wealth can buy armies, allies, even the future, but not wisdom, not honor, and not immortality. A man is not truly wealthy unless he can raise an army with his own money.